Hey, what's up, guys? It's sorry, that was very abrupt.
You came in hot.
I came in hot.
Hot, Dad.
I don't know why they have me smiling today. So I am your co-host, Blair.
I am your other co-host who's coming in colder, Enoch.
You gotta have some excitement every now and then. Anyways,
Well, maybe you're excited about the topic today.
yes, I am excited. You know why?
Pie.
Pie.
Pie,
You know,
yes.
save it for last too.
Oh, man. Okay, so before we get on to the topic, we can go with our little spiel. Hey, if you're watching us out here, like, subscribe, rate, share. Let somebody else bring them onto the podcast.
Yes.
If you want to be a guest, if you think there's something really cool that you would like for me and Blair to talk about, let's talk about it. You can come be a guest on it. Like B&E, we're always open to anyone who's ready to come, be a part of the team.
Yes, we're open to ideas. We're definitely open to anyone that's like passionate about a subject. We want to talk about that. That's what we live for. So come join us, be a part of this. I think that we bring a lot to the world, and I think that you can be a part of that. So, you ready to start?
Yeah. Okay. So what type
what
of
kind?
episode?
What kind? Yeah.
So, okay. So I was thinking at first, because of how the topic is kind of structured, it'll be a field of study. But then I think right before the podcast, it kind of clicked on what kind of episode it actually is.
It just makes sense.
Yep. What kind of episode is it?
It's a B episode.
Okay. So for people who are new to the podcast, what is a B episode?
So I think the best way of describing this is kind of describing what the others are and how it's different. So field of study is when we kind of just dive into a topic, especially one that either Enoch or I kind of has experienced or a certain level of knowledge about. And then confirmation bias is where we kind of dive into Stan!
One of our great podcast friends has just entered into the building, Stanley Jordan Williams.
Hey. So confirmation bias is when we dive into a subject and we see how it's polarizing, basically. And then today, a B study is something that is personal to both me and Enoch, and we just kind of tell you a little bit more about ourselves, about how we feel about whatever it is we're talking about. So what is this B episode?
So with this B episode, we just got through one of the major American holidays in Thanksgiving. So I think there's nothing better to do than really discuss what does Thanksgiving mean to us.
Huh. Okay. No, I think that's a great idea. And I think first, in order to before we get to what it means to us, we have to look at what was it originally.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, okay. So the original story that we were fed in elementary school about, Native Americans and pilgrims.
And then we came and we ate and we broke bread together.
Because the
and
pilgrims
everyone lived happily ever after.
Until the pilgrims wanted to decide to, next Thanksgiving, decide to give their thanks by killing and raping and
The pilgrims
murdering.
did not do that. Send your kids to bed. Enoch is bringing out a different side of the story today.
Yes, they did. They did. Or else the Native American population would be a lot bigger than it is, and they wouldn't be forced into what?
On reservations.
Reservation in this small sector of the United States.
Right.
So that's a pretty big thing when people need to think about Thanksgiving, that we really are celebrating a holiday in which I'm pretty sure if the Native Americans, I think Squanto was the big one. Pretty sure Squanto, if he knew what would happen, he would have said, kill him with the turkey. Let him starve. Let him be cold.
Right.
Don't bring the corn.
Right. Okay, so let me ask you this. Do you think it's important to kind of have that in your mind in the background when we go and actually are celebrating this stuff in our modern age?
Well, you're going to have a group of people who always believe that, you're just taking this too serious and that this and that, but you're celebrating something that for a group of people is very traumatic. So I think that I think you're not taking it serious enough if that's what you believe. And you're really, honestly, you're desecrating what other people believe. So just because your viewpoint is okay, I think of family, I think of, bringing turkey together, I think of us eating. Yeah. Yes, those are all wonderful memories, but there are many wonderful memories that have happened through tragic events. The whole word that comes from picnic it comes from pick an N-word, because what used to happen is they would pick black people and they would go hang them, and then families would go eat on tables and cloths and stuff like that and watch this black person hang. But now people are like, oh, picnic, it's such a fun word and stuff like that. But like, if you don't know the root of where that comes from,
right,
and stuff like that, it's like, just because you have happy memories and happy, connotations behind it doesn't mean that we should overlook, the history behind it.
Agreed. And actually, so I think in order to ever fully appreciate a holiday or a particular day that we come across as like, oh, this is whatever day, I think you actually have to kind of dive into the history of it in order to fully appreciate what it is. It's like if Peggy's birthday comes and we have the same birthday, and but I'm like not giving like love to Peggy, right? Like diving into what has made her, right? And I think the same thing goes with Thanksgiving. We have to actually dive into like, well, how did this come about, and why is it something that has been pervasive enough that we're still doing it today? There's got to be something. There's got to be like some it factor, right? That has led us to like, we're still doing this. It's gone on for this long when we're still doing it.
It's called pie.
It is called pie, isn't it? It's called pie. Okay, anyways. Yes.
So what do you believe is that it factor?
I think it's I think that our culture and honestly the human psyche itself is heavily based on having interactions and relationships in the setting of sharing food. And I think that's through like even biological and psychological factors, because I mean, you have to think about it. If you are literally sitting down and you're having a meal, you're at one of your most vulnerable states. It's hard when you were like sitting across the table with someone and eating if a lion comes to get out of there, right? I mean, yeah. I think that's like one major part of it is you're actually like you have to be showing trust in order to do that. You have trust with this person in order to actually be doing that. So that's one aspect in general that I think that has led to it coming throughout years, and we're still doing it today, because humans are emotional creatures and we want to feel connected to each other, and that's one of the best and honestly probably deepest ways in order to actually feel connected.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Thanksgiving, I wonder how important it was maybe like 100 or so years ago. Just because I say 100 or so years ago, because we're looking at like the 1900s or anything like that. Like majority of the time, if I was a parent, I had kids, and then I have kids, most of the time they stayed in the same town. So it's like, it wasn't uncommon for you to like come have dinner. But then as we've grown into more of a, a traveling society, it's like, hey, your kid goes off to college, or your kid moves across, you go from Atlanta, your child lives in, California, and then they have children and their children move to New York. So it's like there's distance. So it's like Thanksgiving became this place that at least I know that we're all different generations going to sit down at the table, be here for this time period.
Right.
And I think that's something that kind of has united people, that it's just like, if anything, I know I'm going to have family around this time. So I think that's also one of the things that kind of makes 2020 a little bit harder, because that's not the case. We're not traveling as much as we used to. And then the traveling that we can do, we have limitations on it. Actually,
for multiple reasons. So, for one thing, I'm right there with you. So my grandparents are in their 80s. They're like healthier than most people in their 60s. So good for them. But they have taken COVID really seriously, as they should be, especially for their age, which is like basically your highest risk factor of getting COVID, right? Mm-hmm. And not just getting it, but doing very poorly with it. So I really, Grandma, Granddaddy, if you ever watch this, and I appreciate you for watching it. I think you're doing a great job, and keep it up. I love you. But because of that, we didn't get to go. We didn't get to do our normal tradition, which is going to Warner Robins and getting together with the family, getting to see the little Rugrats. You know, all of my little kid cousins that are outgrowing me now. Anyways, but it's something that's like sorely missed because they're already far away from me. I spent a lot of time growing up, like we would only be able to go down there like a few times a year, and it makes you appreciate that even more as you get older, wanting to have that time and appreciating what time you have left with them. And then on the other hand, some of us have had the unfortunate experience of losing people during COVID. One of my best friends just lost his grandfather, and like 2 to 3 weeks ago. And now they had to do Thanksgiving, you know, with his grandmother and the rest of the family. And it becomes all of those happy memories, they can start to actually be a little bit more painful. And so I feel like this year is different for multiple reasons, but I also want to make sure that we take the time to still actually be thankful. And I think that actually is the repurposing of Thanksgiving. Like we turned something that was initially maybe done with poor intentions and had terrible results, and now if we actually use it right, we actually take the time to be together, and we take the time to actually feel thankful. We take time, right? We step out of the busyness of our normal lives, and we actually sit down with people that we care about, and we make sure that we make them feel cared for and valued. And even in COVID, I think we can still do a good job of that. Yeah. So
I'm not oftentimes speechless, but Betty, you hit that nail on the head.
It's always like the highlight of like a year when Enoch is speechless.
Okay, Peggy behind the camera laughed a little bit too hard on that one. But no, that was a really, really well put. Yeah. So like I said, I was never like me and my family, my nuclear family was Thanksgiving. Like we had sometimes where like cousins and things would come over, but it's just like my mom, my brother, my sister, and stuff like that being able to have that as Thanksgiving. So Thanksgivings have always been very small and quaint, but I've always been one of those people who like I wanted big Thanksgivings. I wanted I wanted to be the family, like the grandparent who like has like kids and then they have kids and it's like they're coming over to my house. It's like yeah, I wanted to be that. So like I don't have that like haven't like lost or anything like that. Like I didn't really miss out on anything, so I don't have that perspective.
Right.
But I have talked to people who have like my other best friend, like he's used to like going like to Florida and stuff like that, but his like and they have like I want to say they have a ridiculous amount of people who come. It's like over 50. It's just like I mean it's great. It's like wonderful, but like they do that during Thanksgiving or Christmas or something like that, and like all of that's canceled this year, and I know that's really hard on him. Yeah. And so and I just like the conversation I had with him, it's just like I can tell it's hard on him. So it's just like I don't know. So I guess it's like this year, if anything, is really to be grateful for the small things. You know, like for the people who at least maybe next year you might be able to have Thanksgiving with them. Yes. And then for you know the memories that you did create with the people who are no longer here, like really honor those and cherish those memories. You know, like just because they're no longer with us or no longer here with us doesn't mean their presence isn't always felt. If we don't embody that presence, that we're the living legacy of them. We're their immortality. So
yes,
you know, just honor it. You know, be grateful that person was with you for the time period they were with you. Okay. Anyways,
we understood. It's okay. It's okay. English sucks.
So. Yes.
Okay.
But the transition away from that a little bit now. So that was rebranding of the holiday.
Yes.
How did you actually spend your Thanksgiving? Since it was a atypical Thanksgiving for you.
I worked. I think I got off of work at like 7. So then I came home and we had a turkey.
We had a turkey.
It wasn't like the full turkey with. I'm sorry. This is like legs. That was my. Do you see? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if you can see it. Stan, could you see it? Okay, cool. All right. But it didn't have legs, and then kind of like veggies around. It was kind of a weird Thanksgiving. Okay, but and
was it good?
And dressing balls. Have you ever had dressing balls? Have you had dressing balls?
I'm just gonna take the moment really quick to remind you, Blair, that I'm black. I'm kidding. No, I have not, buddy. Ever had dressing balls?
I'm just gonna shut up now.
But were they good? Were they really good? Because I enjoy dressing.
I've actually never been a huge fan of dressing balls, but my dad loved them, so okay. He liked them. Do
you like dressing?
No.
Okay.
No.
So okay. Gotcha.
I don't.
Okay.
But for dressing balls, my mom did a good job. Yeah.
Okay.
It was okay.
It was okay. You ate them because they were there.
Yes.
Gotcha.
You know, like when you eat something because you respect somebody, you're just kind of like, I'm just gonna.
You know, it's on the Thanksgiving plate. It's a circle, and so it's like you always have that one portion of the circle, that one quadrant that's like this is the nasty part that you don't want to eat.
Well, sometimes you just gotta mix a little bit. You're like,
then let me get the macaroni and cheese in.
Anyways, yes.
Okay.
And then pie. So,
what kind of pie did you have?
Do you like pumpkin pie? You brought sweet potato, okay? It wasn't pumpkin, but but so I had a quarter of that pie, and then Derby pie. Yeah. Okay. That's the face that everybody gives. Anyways.
Okay. What is Derby pie? Because it's a Kentucky thing. So I'm definitely an AT alien. So
yes. AT. Okay. Anyways.
Outcast reference. Yes.
Yeah. Got it. Anyways, Derby pie is one of the most delicious pies ever, and it's basically chocolate pecan pie. And I'm sure that there's a better way of describing that, but that's kind of like what it tastes like and kind of my thought of what it is.
Do you only have it for Thanksgiving?
Pretty much.
Okay, so it's like, yeah, so...
It's synonymous with Thanksgiving.
Is it one of your favorite... Is it your favorite pie, or is it just one of your favorite pies?
Oh, gosh.
Okay, you don't have to think that hard. It's not brain surgery.
It's pie. It's one of my favorite pies.
Okay,
yes.
That's great.
Pumpkin is too.
Pumpkin pie is really good. It's not sweet potato pie though. It's not sweet potato pie. So for me, Thanksgiving, we had the turkey, we had the green beans, we had the dressing, we had the macaroni and cheese.
I had Haitian.
Stanley is here, and he has a great video on turkey is not the main side or the main dish for Thanksgiving. I have to look directly in the cameras because I need the audience to hear me, feel me. It is the macaroni and cheese. If you don't make the macaroni and cheese correct, you have ruined the absolute holiday. It's just everyone's gonna be mad, it's gonna be upset, and you will no longer be hosting Thanksgiving ever again. You are out of the kitchen. You are banished. You are exiled from the kitchen. Maybe the family.
It's okay. It's okay.
You take
can
macaroni
do better
and cheese.
next year.
No, you can't. No, you can't. You are off duty.
I am literally the only one that's trying to be gentle.
Nope.
All right.
Nope. Not with macaroni and cheese.
Everybody else is shaking their head.
Yes.
Everybody.
Yes, the macaroni and cheese.
Apparently you're gone. You're just done. Out the family.
Yeah, exactly. My macaroni and cheese. Well, I didn't make it. My mom's macaroni and cheese was exceptional. So yes,
okay.
She's still on.
She's still in the family.
She's still on Thanksgiving duties. But for sweet potato pie, so usually sweet potato pie is, we used to get it 2 out of the 3 holidays in terms of Christmas, Thanksgiving, and maybe New Year's.
Yeah.
So it's usually 2 out of 3. Usually it's Christmas and Thanksgiving,
Gotcha.
but it's my favorite pie. I could literally eat it anytime. Like it is the best thing ever. I think one of the things we used to have in college that like if you just have sweet potato pie, there's no way that you can be unhappy. Like I've never seen anyone without a smile on their face eating sweet potato pie.
I know.
Like it's just, it's my favorite dessert. I love it. Like I have never had a bad piece of sweet potato pie. Like I've had greater pieces, but I've just never been like, that sweet potato pie didn't do it for me.
Yes.
It's just,
I got you.
But then I've only had people who made sweet potato pie like for me with love.
So, okay, I know we've had this conversation before, but we've thought of the way to make the world a better place is to give all of the like supervillains in the world just some sweet potato pie. You cannot be a bad person.
That's why the Avengers lost in Infinity War. They over here trying to stop. If they would have launched him a pizza by Thanos would have been like, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. I can't get rid of half the people if they know how to make this.
Exactly.
See, that was his fault. See, we figured it out.
Alternate ending.
Sweet potato pie.
There we go.
But yes, pie, the dessert. Then also, it's always interesting for me Thanksgiving because my sister she was born on 25th, so Thanksgiving always like every like 4 years or so it falls on her birthday, or either it's like her birthday's the day before or the day after. So we always have like cake too.
Gotcha.
So it's like I'm used to eating birthday cake on Thanksgiving all the time. Stanley, you can just leave. We appreciate you stopping by. Enjoy. We love you, sir. But yes, so it's like birthday cake for me. Like it's I kind of associate that at a certain extent now with
sweet potato.
not sweet potato, but with Thanksgiving, just with my sister.
Okay.
And because my sister like, and she's getting like she's getting older now. Like she,
I know. I saw the pictures.
You saw the picture, but now she wants more. So meaning that like when you're 3, it's like okay, your birthday is just getting your gifts, so it doesn't consume my whole day. Like now it's like it for most part her birthdays have consumed my whole day, but like now it's like she wanted to do a photo shoot and stuff like that. So that didn't just consume my whole day; it consumed my whole week because I had to edit. So I had to set up all of this. Wait,
were you her go-to photographer for the photo shoot?
So she wanted me to shoot it.
Okay.
She really wanted me to shoot it.
Okay.
And
cool.
I was at first gonna do it, but then Tarek, who's been on the podcast,
okay,
I asked him if he could do it because I was like, I can't do this. I couldn't do it because it was one of those things like how people say you shouldn't operate on like loved ones, like if you're a surgeon. It's just like the entire time, like 'cause we did the works for her. She got makeup done. She had all this kind of stuff. I see her and like she looks absolutely beautiful, and I'm just sitting there the entire time. Everyone's having a great time, and I am miserable. I am absolutely miserable, going through all the feelings because literally, and the thing that kept saying is like I remember she used to sit here. And for people who are listening, it's like I'm looking at my arm, like holding her with one hand. I just remember that. Like I can remember her being on my back. Now she get on my back, I gotta like brace myself a little bit. I was like, have I been doing squats in the gym?
Gotta put that muscle in your leg real quick.
And it's just I was willing to I was happy that I was able to be big brother duty for it. And shout out to Tarek, man. Tarek's a great photographer. If you guys ever need one, he was great. Like his ideas were really great. He made the photo shoot amazing. My sister loved it. She had a great birthday. But that's the day before Thanksgiving. So then Thanksgiving comes and it's like a whole nother. We got to cook. Yeah, it was a lot. Like so it was like I'm over here trying to relax during the holiday, and I was like, nope, not gonna relax. Nope. Like we were snapping green beans at like 1 a.m. in the morning, preparing for the next day, and it's just like. Then I had a film that was going to drop because I had a brilliant idea of trying to drop a short film the day after Thanksgiving. So it was a lot. Some of it was my fault.
I think you need to rethink some life choices.
I do. Just.
Peggy, this is what you're here for. You got to help him rethink things.
Yeah, you should see the look. You've never seen a look of disgust on anyone's face that just popped up on hers.
Anyways, okay.
Yes.
So, where are we going next?
So about Thanksgiving, I would think, what's a great memory that you have from it that if you would like to share with our audience?
I think it's I don't have one particular memory, but I have like I guess this general idea of what Thanksgiving at my grandparents' is, and It's like getting out the broccoli casserole, which I don't know.
Okay, now broccoli casserole. Now we going now broccoli casserole. You're talking about something there.
Yes.
Have you put like a little chicken in it with like and some cheese?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Anyways, so doing that, and then like you get to play with your little cousins, right? And like every year they're a little bit older, and then you actually like start to like see them developing into this like person.
Yep.
And they have their own thoughts, their own feelings, and you, I don't know, it's something beautiful, like coming back year after year after year, and just kind of watching people in your life grow is really cool. And then not only that, but like seeing my grandparents and like how they interact with my little cousins. Like sometimes what's beautiful isn't necessarily how somebody is treating you, but how you see them treating other people, especially people that you love. And I don't know, that is my overall memory. It's just like the togetherness of my family. It's how we will always come together, whether it's good times or bad times, COVID times. We're always going to be there for each other.
That might be a new thing. Through the good times, the bad times, and the COVID times. I actually like that.
We're going to coin that?
The COVID times. So I do have actually a specific memory. So when my sister was turning 1, her birthday was actually on Thanksgiving. So she had never tasted birthday cake or anything before. So we actually brought out the birthday cake and sat it in front of her in like her high chair. You know, after we've had Thanksgiving dinners. And so then like the birthday cake is right there, and she like dips a finger in it, and then like as we're singing happy birthday, and she licks it. And then you know how when children, when they know they've done something bad, they give like this little look around like, is everyone? And then we all were like, we're happy.
I see that look.
Yeah.
All the time, Becky. All the time.
And so they're all like, so it's like she's giving a look like she's waiting for my mom to reprimand her, or me or somebody to reprimand her. And when no one does, we're just singing happy birthday. Then she was like, I'm going to go for it. And she sticks her face in the entire thing. She goes for it. And it was just like, oh my God.
That's great.
Yeah, it was great. So it was just, because she looked around for approval and she was like, well. Yeah, so it was really great. Wow. So, all right.
That sounds like an amazing memory.
It was a great one. Yeah, so our favorite part of the podcast, movie, television, some kind of cultural reference. For this one, there not really that many Thanksgiving movies. It's usually
Christmas.
We skip to Christmas. So maybe what is your favorite family gathering movie? You smiled really quick on that one.
So I don't know. It makes me think of Christmas with the Cranks, where they're like, let's go on a cruise, and they're like trying to skip Christmas, and then their daughter Blair comes home.
Their daughter was named Blair.
Yeah. So and then they're like, oh shit, we can't go, get everything ready, because they were the people that went all out every year, and they just weren't gonna do that year, and they're like, oh man. Now we have less time to get all this together and make it this like special thing for like this person that you love, that you haven't seen in a while, that you're like trying to make it feel like home again, you know. So
I would have threw it away. I would have threw it away.
Like, you want to come on the cruise?
I was about to say, yeah, we can get another ticket.
Let's get 3.
Or you can be at the house by yourself. You got friends. They're gonna be home. Go to their house for it.
This is the first time you're allowed to have a party without us. We're gonna go on the cruise.
That's what I would have done.
Yes.
I gotta go with classic. I don't know if you, or at least it's classic. No, it's classic. I don't know if you've ever seen Soul Food before. So I mean, the idea behind it is it's like pretty much every single Sunday is Thanksgiving dinner for this family. So every Sunday they meet up at the grandmother's house, and you know, it's like the grandmother, I want to say she has like 2 daughters and maybe a son, something like that, and then they're like family, and then like they've got spouses, and then children from there. So it's like 3 generations they meet up and they have food. So it's like it's really about, you know, family building. And then there's all the inner turmoil of like families and the problems that happen because families are a mess, as we all know. It also kind of brings up an interesting point of like the foods that we think about associated with Thanksgiving, like how very unhealthy they are. Like to think about that entire thing is like, because they were eating like Thanksgiving every Sunday, and I'm like, that's not, you can't do that 52 times in a year. Like you probably shouldn't do it once a year at Thanksgiving, let alone 52 times a year. And then in the movie, the grandmother actually has diabetes and has to get her leg chopped off and then ends up dying because of probably the food that they've been eating the entire time. But it's a whole thing. They don't really like go that route, but it's like, but
it was worth it before the foot came off.
Yeah, it was the whole thing. It was just, so be mindful of it. Like, I think that's maybe a good thing. Like, it is Thanksgiving. We did eat a little bit heavier. We've been in COVID, so either you've been super active in COVID or you have not been active at all.
It's either one or the other.
It's one or the other.
No one in between.
There's no. So for the people who have not been active in between, you know, think about it. We got 2021 coming up, New Year's resolutions, you know. We can start that right now. Like, don't wait till, like, people keep saying throw this year away. Maybe throw away the first 11 months. Let's start December. December 1st is right around the corner. Let's start right now. If you got a new goal, let's push forward right now. Let's not wait until after. Let's start it now. Like, 2020 has been rough in some way on all of us. Let's start making this year new and fresh right now. We're throwing away the first 11 months. We're throwing them away. They're in the trash can, and we're starting in December.
I like it.
I feel like that's a good
kind of reminds me of a meme that is the opposite of that.
What did the meme say?
There was like a book bag, right? I don't know if you've seen this, but there was like has like it was a good book bag on like this left side of it, but on this right side there was like this gap of like that. Like, I don't know, 6 inches, and it was hanging on by like this like tiny like
thread.
String of a thread, and it was like last month of 2020. so sorry, that's what that made me think of.
I mean, but people to a certain extent, it's like because it's been so bad, they're assuming the rest of it has to be bad. Like, it doesn't have to be like it's. Like, at a certain point, we are adaptive beings.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is sometimes that last thread is the strongest.
It's the one that held on it together. So it's like, you know,
exactly. You can last.
Yes, and there's ways.
Can make new.
Yeah, you can make the this next upcoming holiday season. You can make it good. We're lucky enough to have FaceTime and everyone kind of has internet, and you can still. It's not the same, but you can at least digitally spend time. Imagine if COVID hit in 1990. Like, that would have really have sucked. It probably did hit in 1990, but we just didn't have the means to get
COVID tests.
Exactly. That would be funny. A pandemic that we just never.
We are now gonna. Okay, that's a new movie or skit or whatever.
So, yeah. So I mean, I think you know, to kind of sum up a lot about the podcast today is just being, you know, grateful. For the little things, the small things, you know, the intangible things that we have taken for granted.
That's what I was trying to think about. That's the movie. You know what movie that makes me think of, right? It's like, appreciate the small things. Zombieland.
Oh, Zombieland.
Zombieland.
Yeah. Zombieland, double tap.
Zombieland.
Appreciate the small things. Yes. Yeah, you should. Yes, appreciate the small things.
You said that like way back the podcast, and I had like this.
Oh, that's when the glow. Okay, yeah. I saw it. I was like,
yeah, I know. You're like, what is he thinking about?
Zombieland was a great movie. Both of them were good.
Yes.
Did we see both of them together?
Probably.
I think, yep. Sounds about right. So yes. What'd you learn about me today, buddy?
Ooh. I think I learned. It's like nuclear family, and I learned that mac and cheese is the most important, and you get kicked out if you're not good at it.
Okay, I need you to repeat that one time with a little more fervor in your voice.
I ain't ever making the mac and cheese because I'm getting kicked out of the family.
It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, nope.
Put it like this.
I'm going to practice like 20 times and be like, taste test, nope, that goes in the trash.
That's what the rest of the year is for. Okay, literally when the person brings in the macaroni and cheese and they sit it down on the table, everybody looking at them like, All right. Are you still gonna be a part of the clan, the tribe after this? Because
Also, I had Haitian mac and cheese recently, and thank you, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's my intern.
Luan Anthony, Luan's she is a Haitian, and she's actually made Haitian mac and cheese, which is phenomenal. She is invited to any Thanksgiving. Anything,
All of them.
Everyone's
Open
Thanksgiving.
invitation.
She's the best.
Yes, that's what I learned.
That's great. What did I learn about Blair? I didn't realize how big of a deal Thanksgiving was for you. Out of all, I guess also because Georgia Tech Thanksgiving, we never spent any time because you went off your way, I went my separate way.
Yep.
But like I didn't know Warner Robins that like you went there spending time with.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know that, so I was like, oh man, I just literally assumed, I was like, oh, this is probably you and your parents. You know, maybe like the people because you have like a lot of like friends in your neighborhood who would like come, like thinking like some of the people who would just come around is I was like, oh, that's probably like a Blair Thanksgiving. But I was like, oh no, he goes to Warner Robins, which is a little bit of a hike.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So I was like, so I learned something new about you, but like that I had no idea, zero idea.
I love it.
Yeah.
10 years and we still learn things about each other.
That's great. That's how it should be.
Yes.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode on Thanksgiving, on the memories, rebranding it, repurposing it for different means. And
finding your meaning in it and finding your appreciation for the holiday. So there's like the general rebranding, and then there's rebranding it for yourself. What does it mean to you putting your own meaning into it?
Yes. So like, subscribe, comment on this. Share it. Let us know what you think. How are you rebranding?
Sharing is caring.
How are you rebranding Thanksgiving? How are you repurposing it for yourself, your brand, your life, your family? Let us know what you think. So we can create dialogue, and we can, appreciate this Thanksgiving and move forward with growth into 2021's Thanksgiving.
Yes. Start a month early.
2021 is going to be a great year. We're always saying it right now. And it's going to be great now because we're starting it in December of 2020. Exactly. So you got a few days to go ahead and start it. Get ready.
This is that prep time for the mac and cheese. You getting it ready. You getting ready. And then 2021, you get to stay in the family.
Well put, buddy. Yeah. Well put. You learned today.
I did. I learned. Anyways, guys, I'm your co-host, Blair.
And I'm Enoch.